everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Ramen Stand. I'm joined here with my co-hosts Kai.
Woo!
And DJ.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that, Cole. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad. I fucked up your rhythm. I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
DJ fucking everything
And
up.
in today's episode, we are reviewing 3 episodes of 3 animes we did not enjoy.
Just the cream of the crap. Actually, not even the cream of the crap. It's the crap of the crap.
That's not a great visual.
Yeah, no. Don't worry, I won't put that on screen or something. But cool, yeah. So this episode, we're talking about our recommendations for our least favorite anime. Blood Sea, which was my recommendation. Rent a Girlfriend, which is Cole's recommendation. And Gun Gale Sword Art Online, which was Kai's recommendation. But before we get into that, we have some anime news because there's been some small stuff going on in between the last episode and this episode. So the big thing is that there's going to be, with, the spooky season October, there is now a new Digimon series called Digimon Ghost Game, which is pretty much just like a spooky sort of Digimon series. Yeah, they're trying to sort of like get on that seasonal trend, I guess, with that. Because the reboot of Digimon recently ended not too long after this was announced, so yeah. And then with that, we also have... Apparently, I guess, I had no idea about this because I haven't been keeping up with it, but there has been a teaser trailer for Season 6 of My Hero Academia, which is pretty neat, and I know, because I read the manga of what's going to happen in this, and I'm excited. I haven't been keeping up with the anime, but I heard that Season 5 wasn't that great. I heard the animation in the second half was kind of bad, but yeah. Kai, have you been keeping up with My Hero Academia?
Yeah, and I guess I can attest to the second half of the 5th season's animations not being too great, but I think I was a little too wrapped up in the story itself to kind of.
Oh yeah, no, because the story of it, that was tight. That was an interesting little thing that they did.
No, yeah, the season overall was great, 6th season, but I am very excited for Season 6 because this is one of the animes that I've been following for a bit, so.
Definitely. Woo. Yeah, no, and I've read the manga of it, and I know that shit's going to get real in Season 6, so I definitely need to keep up with
I
that.
need to get on that. I just can't read, though.
Right, yeah, I feel that. And speaking of My Hero, there was a trailer for the 3rd movie, which is coming out in America October 23rd. That will be in theaters then. Jeez, yeah, so pretty soon.
A 3rd movie?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's capitalism there for you.
Right, My Hero Academia is popular. And speaking of popular shows, Demon Slayer Season 2 recently came out. And there's been some controversy with that, unfortunately. So you guys know how we had Season 1, and then they had the movie, which was supposed to take place after Season 1, like in terms of canon. And so that way, with Season 2, they could just continue right after from then. They said, fuck that. The first 7 episodes of of Demon Slayer Season 2 is just the movie.
What the heck?
Yeah, they pretty much pulled a Dragon... Yeah, they fucked us. They pretty much pulled a Dragon Ball Super because they did the exact same. Because with Dragon Ball Z, they had 2 movies, Battle of Gods and then Resurrection of F, and then they announced that there's going to be Dragon Ball Super, the anime. And then they pretty much did the exact same thing where like the first 20, 25, 30 episodes was just the 2 movies. I'm just like, what the fuck? So it's like they're literally just showing the exact same thing but with shittier quality. Granted, Ufotable is really good, but still, it's just like, come on. That's stupid. So like 7 out of your 25 episodes is just going to be content you've already seen for the most part, which is kind of dumb.
They must have been so lazy with it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they said that they're going to add like a few scenes, which is, like some scenes that weren't in the manga, but for the most part, it's literally the exact same thing that you watched in the movie, which is dumb. Very unfortunate.
I can skip the first 7 episodes then. Yeah,
there you go. That's pretty much it. Anyway, with that, we also have, apparently, I saw this on Gavin's Twitter, Overload Cast. Check that out. That's my other podcast, quick plug, that there's going to be an anime coming out for the video game series Shenmue in 2022. Have you guys heard of Shenmue?
Oh, yeah. I own both 1 and 2.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it was like a part of a package, but I never got to play it.
So Kai, Shenmue is like this old video game series that pretty much like saved this one console. I can't remember which console it was, but it was like more of those like story-driven kind of games where you're playing as like this karate master who is trying to avenge the death of his father, I believe. And so you're pretty much just like going through this town, learning these martial arts and trying to beat the guy who killed your father. But in each game, you know, you fight the main villain, the guy who killed your father, but, you know, he escapes. And then it's like, oh, Shenmue 2, fight him. Didn't happen. Shenmue 3, you've got to fight him again. It's like, yeah, so they're making an anime based off of that. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I feel like this would definitely work better as an anime than a video game, because in terms of, like, the gameplay of Shenmue can be very, very tedious, because it's one of those games where, like, they take the realism a little bit too far, you know?
Like, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do that a shit ton in Shenmue 3. Like, Shenmue 3 took a very, very long time to come out, and, like, it's considered a very bad game because they take the realism of it a little too far. But, yeah. So, pretty cool that they're going to make an anime of it. And the last thing that I have is that, speaking of movies, we recently had a trailer for the new Dragon Ball Super movies called Superheroes. And which is cool, but unfortunately, the controversy with that is that the entire movie is going to be in CGI. Yeah, which I mean,
not a fan.
I mean, the CGI that I saw wasn't terrible, which is like, God, the animation of the previous movie was so good, and everybody loved it universally, and now they're just like, nah, CGI. I'm like, God. Oh well.
That's cursed.
Oh well, I guess.
Capitalism.
Probably just. Yeah, capitalism. God damn it. Oh, well. Do you guys have any anime news of things that you heard of before we get started with our main topic?
Just that the original Cowboy Bebop's going to be on Netflix soon. So that's...
Hell yeah.
I'm probably going to do a good old rewatch. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll give it a shot with that.
At least before the live action comes out. Because I know that's coming out soonish.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. And that reminded me, too, that they're... I feel like I mentioned this on the podcast before about how they're working on a One Piece live action series.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how that's going to
go. No matter, just apparently, like, the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, is like very tied with the creation of this. Like, he's giving it his blessing. And the person who's directing this is like a huge One Piece fan. So, like, he should know what he's doing.
Okay.
But
we can hope.
It's still... I mean, maybe, I don't know. But it's like, even though y'all haven't seen One Piece, y'all can imagine just how awkward that should be in terms of live action, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Stretchy.
Yeah, stretchy boy. It's probably not gonna look
stretchy
right.
boy.
Yeah. I'm just hoping they don't make it like what they did with the live action Avatar movie, where everyone's just super depressed and angry and shit.
That was so
That's
bad.
True.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, that's probably for me. That was like literally the worst movie I've ever seen as a kid. The one movie that was just like, this sucks.
That's fair.
Everything about this sucks. Anyway, speaking about stuff that sucks, let's get into our main topic. So we're gonna start talking about the 3 anime that we disliked. So we're gonna start with Gun Gale. So Kai, why do you dislike Gun Gale?
Because, okay, for me, like, when I was getting towards the end of the first season of SAO, it just became more and more ridiculous. And then the fact that, like, they introduced guns was like, dude, one person can just fucking kill everyone and, like, that's it, you know? Like,
that's true.
Or the other way around, like, you can just end it there. You know what I mean? In a quicker way, I guess. But
For real.
yeah, it was
That's
just,
true.
and like that was a big consensus too among like a bunch of fans, is that once guns were introduced, it was just like, all right, like, come on.
I mean, that could be true for anything. Once guns are introduced, it's like, oh, okay. All right, Cole. What about you? From watching the 3 episodes, do you dislike this show so far?
I mean, the intro has been pretty interesting so far. I think, like, as Kai said, the issue doesn't really come up to, like, towards the end, which I don't know yet.
Yeah, same. Honestly, same. Like, so far, it's kind of interesting. I can see why it's very jarring just going from what they had in SAO to everybody has guns now. It's like, oh, okay, I guess. But, I mean, it's okay. It's not, like, a good show, but it's not bad so far from what I've seen. It's just kind of generic.
You, though, is like at first it's solid, and it's something that actually me and Cole were talking about before we started recording with Rent's a Girlfriend. Like, it gets you at first, and then it slowly diminishes.
Right. Yeah, I
It
feel
just
that.
crumbles right before you.
Yeah,
But I gotta say though, Miss Karen, she is wholesome as hell. God,
she is indeed.
she's nice.
I like her character.
Yeah, she's tall. I looked her up. I think she's like 6 feet, which, God,
That's
climb
tall.
that. God, mommy, sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway.
why are you like upset about that? Just go online for a quick second.
I know,
You're
right?
gonna have people begging for
Yeah,
you.
that like montage of her like playing games and just like, I don't want to be tall. I hate it. Like having a fucking heart attack. Jesus.
If I legit had a heart attack, like counted her heart rate, it was just like what 200, was
Something
the
like
highest.
that.
I was like, Jesus.
Like, yikes, I didn't think it was that bad. Fuck. But yeah, so let's kind of go down what happened with each episode. So in episode 1, we learned that ever since the tragedy of SAO, many new VR games have surfaced thanks to the Seed admin package that makes them more safe, which honestly, after I heard that, I'm just like, I don't think I would still be down to do VR if like learning from people dying from the previous VR games, like, oh no, we totally fixed it, everything's fine, yay! Like hell no.
Trapped in shit.
Nah, fuck that shit. Anyway, with that, then we got the new game called Gale, and everyone starts with everyone. So this first episode is sort of like a flash forward of what like happens later in the game, because eventually they do like a tournament and stuff, and this is like sort of them already in the tournament, and the next couple episodes will be like them getting to that moment. So then, starts with everyone in the game, and then we get our main protagonist. I think it's Len. I think that's how she had it. Yeah, Len. Len and M-san are scouting the area, and Len gets fucking blasted by a bunch of people. But then they come up against actual. Yeah, this was the weirdest part when like they were fighting the dudes, and they're like, these guys are actual combat pros who use the game to like test their skills. I'm like, what the fuck? So actually military men. I'm like, oh, okay. Makes me wonder if like they do that with COD or Rainbow Six. Probably not.
Nah.
Hell no.
It's not like, too up in your face enough.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, it's crazy to think that like fucking these noobs are going against actual combat pros. But then fucking Len, she just beats the pros because she's so fast. And then M-san has all that strategy. And then, back to the human world. Len is called Miss Karen. She's like, what? She's in college, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a uni student.
Yeah. And what are y'all's thoughts on the opening of Gale? I think it's pretty nice.
It's not bad. It's not the worst, definitely.
Yeah. It's like, it's fine. But yeah, and then we get episode 2, flashback on how she got into Gale. Takes place in 2025, and 4 years. Maybe in 4 years we get Gale. Never know.
God, no, never.
Please no. Miss Karen came to Tokyo to be in a female university, and she has no friends, but she has her cat, which is all that you need. She tries out a game called Alfheim, but immediately quits because she hates that she's tall, and tries a bunch of different games until she lands on Gale, which makes her little tiny girl with her cute little pink outfit. She does a tutorial and eventually gets into the game, and she just straight up kills some dudes, and then she pretty much just becomes like a fucking PKer out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck? This very wholesome girl just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna kill a bunch of players. I'm like, all right. No, Jesus. Then she's then referred to as the Pink Devil. She gets found out by a girl in black named Pito, and they become friends. They even go gun shopping. When I first saw Pito, I totally thought she was going to be like one of those double-crossing characters, just like the way that she's introduced her. Which, I mean, it could still happen later in the show. I don't know. Could still happen, but that's definitely the vibe I got from her when she was first introduced. And then they go gun shopping, and then Len names her gun Peachon. Little pea shooter. And then she says she'll do her best to kill, which that's wholesome and scary. Yeah, and then they make a bet that if Len can beat Pito someday, they'll meet IRL. And then Pito tells her about Squad Jam. And then episode 3, Squad Jam is a team battle royale. Pito wants Len to enter, but she can't because she has plans and because she wants to participate in some concert that's happening with one of her favorite artists of all time. I don't think I wrote... Oh yeah, her name's Elsa, that's right. And then she learns that the tournament is the same day as the Elsa concert, as Miss Karen would rather go to that. But she says that like if she can't go to the concert, then she'll do the tournament. So she studies for the tournament, and her friend tells her that tickets were sold out, unfortunately, so she has to participate in the tournament. And then she partners up with M from episode 1. And then before the tournament starts, she writes a fan letter to Elsa about how much she wishes that they would reschedule shit so she could participate and not do this fucking tournament. And then the tournament begins. So yeah, that was the first 3 episodes of Gale. Not too bad, but definitely sort of nothing special. Just kind of like so far. Just not terrible, but not great, I would say. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next show, Rent a Girlfriend. Cole, why do you dislike Rent a Girlfriend?
Honestly, the way all the characters treat each other, especially the main character, and how spineless he is and lets himself get stepped all over by all these women. Pretty much. And the lying. I do not like the lying.
Not at all. What about you, Kai? From watching the 3 episodes, do you think you dislike the show so far, or what are your thoughts on what you've seen?
So I actually liked it a little bit. I am definitely annoyed by how easy this could have been handled from the get-go if people chose to be honest. But it's definitely, it's one of those things where it's what draws you in, right? Just how stupid these people are.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, me and Cole were talking about it. So I ended up getting to episode 4 where I think Mizuhara falls in the water because she's sick off the ferry. And I think I'm just watching it at this point to watch mommy get fucked up.
Yeah, honestly, after this, out of these 3 shows, Rent a Girlfriend is 100% my favorite because of the things that you said. It's so just stupid. These characters get into these situations that they shouldn't be getting to, but it's for the sake of drama. It wouldn't be an interesting show if they weren't doing that. As you said, Kazuya is just a spineless little piece of shit, and he definitely is this. He reaches the peak of that to me, in the very first episode when he first meets Chizuru. He was just a little fucking asshole to her for no reason.
Yeah, he was so mean. I'm like, dude, you paid for this.
Exactly, yeah. You're the one who went through with this. She's just doing her job, which, a little weird, but, that's her job. So it's you can't really get mad at her.
It's Japan.
Yeah, it's Japan. Japan's weird. All right, and getting into the 3 episodes. So episode 1, we have our main character, Kazuya, a 20-year-old in college who has a girlfriend, but then she immediately breaks up with him.
Yeah, it's in the first
I love
2 minutes.
that.
It's great.
Yeah, that was a good intro to the show. Just I have a girlfriend. Oh, we broke up. All right. And then he finds an app where he can rent a girlfriend. Oh, that's the name of the show. Holy shit. Oh.
Whoa, you said it.
Whoa, he said the thing. He meets his date, Chizuru, his date, quote unquote, and after a while, he hates what he's doing because he feels empty inside, and he hates her for putting on an act, even though that's her fucking job to do that. And then they go on a bunch of dates, and then he starts to act like a dick towards her, being like, "Don't you fucking hate what you're doing? You don't actually love me." I was like, "Yeah, no fucking shit." He starts to act like a dick, and then I love how after she had enough, and then she just pulls her to the side, goes off on him, and be like, "Look, asshole, you're the one who paid for this. It's not my fault." I love that. Chizuru's great. And then in the middle of that, he gets a call that his grandma has been hospitalized, and he goes to see her, but she's totally fine by the time they gets her. Apparently, this happens all the fucking time. But Chizuru comes along, and Kazuya's family is happy that he's quote unquote in a relationship. So they have to play it off that they're in a relationship for a little bit because Chizuru's grandmother is also here, and she's worried her grandma will find out her job. And so they sort of do, the anime hijinks of hiding under a bed together, and, the oh no, we're so close, oh, and all that stuff, all that anime good stuff. And then the grandma finds them, and Chizuru pretends like, oh yeah, they're a couple, but then Chizuru just look, just tell them that they broke up and everything will be fine. And Kazuya tells her why he rented her, the whole reason, stuff like that. But Kazuya's just you know what? I'll be a good person. I'll let my grandma know, it wasn't a real thing. I'll work towards actually getting a real girlfriend someday. It was nice hanging out with you, stuff like that. But then he finds his old girlfriend with a new guy, and then he immediately goes back to his old ways. Had that little moment of redemption, just you know what? I am being an asshole. And then he's just I'm going to go back to being an asshole. All right. So then episode 2, Chizuru tells Kazuya not to tell. Oh yeah, and then we also learned that Chizuru goes to the same college as Kazuya, because of course they do.
It gets wild.
It gets wild, very much so, yeah. So in episode 2, Chizuru tells Kazuya not to tell anyone that they know each other or what she does. And then we also learn that they live in the same apartment right next door. Because of course they do. Who would have guessed?
I had no idea.
Who would have found out?
I just want to say I think it's really funny how like they have these set meeting times and they just never ran into each other prior to that.
Right. That's true. And also like within all this time, we never see Chizuru go on like another date, quote unquote, with someone else, with a client. We've never seen her with somebody else. I was like, okay, all right. So then Kazuya's grandma says she's going to come over and wants Chizuru to join. And then Kazuya begs Chizuru to join for just a little bit, but she pulls out fucking Article 3, Section C on his ass and refuses. And then grandma figures out that they broke up, quote unquote, but she's not mad. She's just happy that he has the potential to not be a fucking loser all the time. And then Chizuru overhears this and comes over with food. And then Chizuru tells Kazuya that she can rent her out every Wednesday to see his grandma for an hour under the condition that they never interact any other day. And then the worst part, fucking Kazuya masturbates to Mami-chan.
Yeah, that was one of the parts I did not enjoy.
Yeah, that was definitely, for me, the lowest moment in this show. Just like, okay.
It did feel very scummy.
All right. And then they happen to bump into each other later at college. It's like, oh, hey, I jerked off to you. Did you know that? Just, all right, bye. And then we learn that Mami-chan has some little inner demons going on inside of her, with those cold, dead eyes. And then Chizuru and Kazuya go to visit his grandma on Wednesday. And Kazuya runs into his homies with Chizuru, and they don't realize it's her from college. And then they go to get some grub with the boys and find Mami-chan's there too. And then the whole mood just goes sour. That is a yikes during that moment. And then Mami-chan goes full jealous mode and talks shit about Kazuya to his face. Then Chizuru, like the fucking wholesome, amazing girl she is, fights back, but Kazuya starts to act like a bitch, just like, oh, this is just how we are, it's fine, it's just who I am. Oh. Fucking beta male.
He's such a
anyway.
fucking beta.
Damn, DJ.
I was mad too, I understand.
Yeah, no, what a bitch. And then later in the episode, Mami-chan apologizes to Kazuya as they walk home together, and she's like, you can stop by my place. Ugh. I'm like, oh, fucking, what a bitch.
You fucking slut.
You whore! And then episode 3, Mami-chan lied about having a boyfriend. And then she's like, you can go over to my place. But it's like, oh, no, my little brother said he's going to come over, so it looks like we can't. So then Kazuya's just like, oh, you can come to my place instead. But then, like, that's he realized he got the wrong idea, I guess. But, Mami-chan's just playing fucking games. And then Mami-chan starts to talk shit about Mizuhara. But this time, Kazuya actually stands up for her a little bit. So then Kazuya goes back to his apartment and tries to apologize to Mizuhara. And then later in the episode, Kazuya goes to the beach with the boys, and Mami-chan invited him because, of course, she has to be there too.
Just why not?
Yeah, because why not? Gotta have that drama. And then Kazuya plans to get back with Mami-chan. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh god, you dickless piece of shit. And then Mami-chan is pissed. Kazuya moved on and got a girlfriend and wants them to break up. We always see those scenes of like her like on Twitter or something, just talking shit and stuff like that. And then we also find out that Mizuhara is also at the beach with her friends, because of course she is. Just so happened to be there on the same day at the same place.
That was... God.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. And then Mami-chan tries to be manipulative, but Ichinose and her friends show up. She tries to be manipulative to me, like, oh, so what's going on with you and your girlfriend, huh? You still together? What's going on with that? She's trying to be all, sneaky little bitch. And then Kazuya and them talk, and then Mami-chan shows up. Oh yeah, Kazuya takes Ichinose to the bathroom, and then they talk, but Mami-chan shows up. Is like, hey, what's going on there? You doing okay? Is something going on in that bathroom? It sounds like there's more than one person. Oh, I guess I gotta check. There's no reason for me to, but I guess I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna be creepy.
I'm gonna be creepy and just see what's going on. And then, but he almost gets caught, but then Ichinose turns into Mizuhara and is like, oh, hey, look, I'm here, I guess. That's weird. I just so happen to be here. And then Mami-chan, and then later in the episode, Mami-chan and Kazuya are in the water, and then Mami-chan kisses Kazuya. fuck.
Yeah, that was cursed as fuck. I hated
Shit
that.
is getting
I was so
spicy.
mad.
Yeah, no, honestly, as like this is one of those shows that's like so bad it's good for me. Like it's a train wreck that you can't stop watching, you know. Like I'm having fun with Rent a Girlfriend, but yeah, it is garbage. It is bad. Yeah. All right, on to the final show, Blood Sea. So, the initial reason I dislike this show is because it doesn't happen in the first few episodes. I have a new problem after watching this, is that it's just very gory for the sake of being gore. Like, it's just bad storytelling. Everything's just way too unnecessarily violent. The main protagonist is just so dumb and bad at what she does. But then after watching these, because like honestly, I've never actually seen this show. It's just from what I've seen, and then a lot of other people who've seen the show like all the way through were like saying the exact same things. How like the plot's bad and there's just way too violent and stuff like that. But now after watching these 3 episodes, I have a new problem: is that it's slow as shit. Like nothing happens.
It is
For real.
It's super repetitive. Like the same thing happens. You know, she's like at the church or whatever. No, at the shrine, and then she goes to talk to the guy at the bakery, and then she goes to school. Actually, no, we spend her like 5 minutes of her walking to school, and then 5 minutes of her at school, and then 5 minutes of her going back home, and then she fights demons. It's just super repetitive. And then I looked it up, and that apparently the actual plot doesn't kick in until episode 6.
What the fuck?
That's
So
so,
it's like-
long. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I know. It's like originally my problem was like it's just way too gory, but then my new problem is that like it's slow as shit and it's super gory for no reason. But what about y'all? How do you feel about this show so far?
Kai, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, honestly, I kind of felt the same way. Like it felt very repetitive. Like, and there was no character development whatsoever throughout these first 3 episodes, except for the fact that we learn Saya's mom died early, and that like she was also fighting these monsters and shit, and that's how she died. But like beyond that, it's just it is very slow. Like I'm not used to the animes moving slow. Like with Rent a Girlfriend, that was pretty fast paced.
Yeah, no, that was going. Yeah.
Exactly, and I think I like that a little better than Blood Sea because, like, that's one of the big reasons. You know, like I don't have to wait around till, like you said, episode 6 for the plot to actually kick off.
That's like half the show too.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like it was just pretty slow, and then just super repetitive, and I didn't have much of a problem with like how gory or violent it was, because honestly, like I didn't think it was that gory.
Oh
And
no,
I thought,
like in the first 3 episodes, it's totally fine. But like,
yeah,
I promise you, the last 2 episodes are just extremely gory for no reason.
oh, that's cursed. Well,
to know.
there you go.
Yeah. All right, what about you, Cole? How do you feel about this show so far?
I'm gonna be honest, like 100% honest.
Go for it.
It was an absolute fucking pain to get through all 3 episodes.
I don't blame you.
Nothing fucking happened.
I don't blame you.
I could just look down at my phone for a quick second, hear them talk, and it's just like the most pointless piece of dialogue
It really
I have
was.
ever seen in my entire life. And every time, like, the show started, I'd just be like, oh boy, here we go again.
Here we go again.
I don't even mind the blood in this part because
Yeah.
I've gotten used to it now
Yeah.
after watching a bunch of other shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I really dragged my feet watching this.
Right.
And
I don't
as soon
blame
as
you.
like I switched over to like Gale, I was like, oh, thank God, finally something.
Substance. Meat.
Substance. Like there was legit nothing going on. Like episode 1, nothing fucking happens.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 2, nothing fucking happens. Episode 3, guess what? Nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the baker
Honestly,
dies,
like
and that's
the
it.
only cool thing about this show is kind of the fight scenes when she fights the demons. Like those are actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Like, those
But
are-
even then, it was like a tiny drop of water
Yeah,
in
yeah.
like a fucking desert.
Yes, like 3 minutes of fight and then just 18 minutes of who the fuck cares.
The driest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, no.
And it was funny to me when I like heard that like her mom did this shit too. I was like, what the fuck's the dad doing? What's he doing?
Right?
He's just setting up like his wife and his children to take care of this shit.
It's like, let the women fight.
Yeah, don't stay here. Scratch my ass.
Yeah. He doesn't even cook. They say that he's bad at cooking. Doesn't do shit.
Yeah, he just scratches his ass all day.
Like, it's time for you to kill a demon, I guess.
Yeah.
Just go off, do this shit. I'll tell your next assignment.
Right.
He communes with some shit, and it's just him sitting on like his ass watching TV. They don't have TVs because he took them off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it must be boring as shit over there. Anyway, so let's talk about this boring as shit show. So episode 1 starts with a dude monologuing about what defines a person, sort of the theme of the show, I guess. So I didn't mention this last episode. I mean, when we were talking about Rent a Girlfriend. But what are y'all's thoughts on Rent a Girlfriend, the opening for that? I actually kind of like that one.
It was cute.
Really good.
Yeah,
it
was cute.
I think
I enjoyed it.
The opening for Blood Sea makes me want to fucking like drag my ears off.
Uh-huh.
Like it's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I get it. I get what you mean.
It's just
it was different. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
So then Saya's praying and talks to her father about seeing a light, and then she's clumsy. She's a clumsy little girl. She just falls all over the place all the goddamn time. You boring bitch. Anyway, Saya goes to school and starts singing, and then she's just walking for like a good 5 fucking minutes. And then she goes to the dude's bakery or whatever, talks to him for a little bit about random shit that nobody cares about, and then she continues going to school. Then she does normal school things with her normal school friends, and then she heads home. And then Saya tells her Saya's father gives her a sword to fight demons, and then she fights a stone statue. That's it. That was episode 1. So good. All right, episode 2. I mean, with this episode, at least it starts with like her fighting a demon, so it's a little bit more interesting this time. But then it just gets to shit. So then after that, we get the same narrator talking about how someone believes that time defines what a person will become eventually. And then we get Saya singing again, and then she goes to school again. She goes back to Fumito for some breakfast. But at least something new happens is she finds a little doggy. And she tries to pet the doggy, but the dog doesn't want to be pet because she's just like, you're too boring.
Yes. Jukes her.
Yeah, I don't want to be in this fucking show is what the dog said. And then she arrives at school and talks about the dog, and then Itsuki clearly, and then one of the other annoying things is that Itsuki clearly likes Saya, but Saya's fucking stupid. Like, he's literally just like, oh yeah, I like this girl. It's like, oh, what's going on? What?
Spineless.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, actually, never mind. He does.
No, he's not
try.
spineless. He's just like
he
Saya's
actively tries. He's just stupid as fuck.
Yeah, everybody's just stupid. And then Saya and her friends eat lunch, and then Saya talks to the dude who like always stares at her in the beginning of class. Dude, like, hey, eat with me. Dude who like stalks me. Like, you know how fucking creepy that would be if like, you're just in class and then a dude just like stares at you for a long time until he sits in the seat and then continues to stare at you for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, okay. This guy, I guess. And then Saya's father tells her about the Elder Baron demons that she has to kill. And then we learn the only interesting thing that actually happened in the show, that we learned how, her mother actually used to fight these demons before she died. That's like the only sort of thing we learn in this show.
Yeah.
And then she fights the demons. It's like, okay, that was it. Episode 2.
That's it.
Yeah. Episode 3, Saya and her father are at Fumito's, and she's making a meal for her father. She finds the good boy again on her way to school, and then she grabs the good boy, but the good boy escapes. Good for him. Saya's cleaning up in class and talks to the teacher, and then Saya and her classmates go to Fumito's, and then a cop comes and talks about the owner of the bakery going missing. Saya finds the baker at night and follows him to an old train station. Dude gets on the train, just fucking dies. Like, he's just like on the train. He's like,
just
what's going
fucking
on?
deleted.
Yeah.
He just got deleted.
That was pretty intense to watch.
Oh yeah, trust me. If you continue watching the show, which I wouldn't recommend it, there's gonna be nothing but that, like a lot more of that.
Okay.
I don't understand why she just let him die.
Issue.
You could have saved him.
Yeah, that's the problem with this show.
Swooped up and grabbed him.
100%. That's the problem with the show. Like, she just straight up just lets people die. Like, oh no, like last minute.
Anyways.
Anyway, yeah, she fights the demon who is the train. The demon is the train. And then the demon tells her to remember the covenant, which, whatever the fuck that means. And then that was it.
Fuck.
That was Blood Sea. Wasted time.
Yeah.
Worst fucking show ever. Jesus Christ. Like, honestly, because at first I was thinking, like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on this show. Like, I'm pretty much spoiling myself on, like, the last few episodes. It's very violent. Maybe the beginning is actually pretty good, and then it becomes shit. Like, nope. It's just terrible all the way through.
It's just shit.
Yeah, it's just a really shitty show. This is, for me, Blood Sea is the worst show anime I've ever seen, personally. But yeah. All right, so that was the 3 shows. So this was something that I had an idea of that I talked to Kai and Cole about, is that, you know, we recommend these animes and we only ever watch 3 episodes, but maybe what we could do is, like, determine which of these 3 shows we like the best and that we want to continue watching, and then, you know, do an episode talking about the rest of the season and stuff like that. So, out of these 3 shows, we should choose which one we want to continue watching and then eventually do another episode about that show. So, I vote for Rent-A-Girlfriend. What about you guys?
I also vote Rent-A-Girlfriend.
I don't think it matters because you already know how I feel about Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Right. Okay, tight. Well, then eventually we will do an episode. It'll probably be the episode after the next episode. So episode 13 will be the rest of Rent-A-Girlfriend. So in the meantime, let me tell you about what we're going to do next, actually. So next episode, we will be talking about Part 3, Season 1, Stardust Crusaders of JoJo, the first 24 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, JoJo Part 3 is the longest part. It has 48 episodes in total, and we'll talk about the first 24.
But it's not a drag. It's fun.
Oh, no, it's great. I mean, it is a little slow at times, but I enjoy it, honestly. I understand why people don't like it, though, which we'll find out eventually. You'll see, Kai. So any predictions for Part 3, Kai? What do you think is going to happen?
Guess on to the next lineage.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? All right, cool. That will pretty much do it for this episode of the Ramen Stand podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening, stuff like that. For things like, you know, plugging stuff, you can check out, make sure to like and subscribe, give us your recommendations for how you feel about these shows. If you watch these shows, would you watch these shows? We wouldn't recommend it, especially Blood Sea. That is an absolute train fuck. Let us know your thoughts on all these things, and make sure to check us out on Spotify. We upload the podcast an hour early at 1 p.m. versus on YouTube, the quote-unquote visual version, which is at 2 p.m. You can also, if you want, you can check us out on other things. Me and Cole, we have our own Let's Play channel called Videoverse, where we pretty much just play a bunch of different games and shit like that. Currently, we're playing Fire Emblem and Nier Automata. I also have my own personal channel called Mushroom Man, which is like a comedic review channel where I talk about and make fun of different anime, movies, and video games and stuff like that. And then also with other podcasts, I have a podcast with one of the other hosts of Videoverse, Gavin, called the Overleveled Games, where it's pretty much just us talking about JRPGs and stuff like that. So all those things that I just mentioned will be in the link in the description below of the YouTube version. And yeah, any other things you guys want to say before we call it?
Nope.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.